Okay, this is press break 1. We're just going to call it break 1 in games. The way we're going to line it up, the 1 will be on the ball side of the floor, about even with the foul line, and they're going to be facing this way. The 2 will be on the hash mark just above the block, also facing this way. We'll have bigs in each corner at the half court. Generally, the 4 will be on the weak side of the court, away from the ball, and the 5 will be on the strong side. If we got the ball out of bounds and we need to get into the press break quickly, just go to the closest corner to you. This big is also facing inward. This big is also facing inward. So one of the keys to starting a good press break is to set a little bit of misdirection for your defender. In this case, we're going to want our bigs to take a step, make it look like they're going to go long before they come back. The 1 who's facing this way is going to want to make a rotation to the inside or just a quick step down, one step, depending on where their defender is playing them. The ball handler should be looking here and looking here so that the defense starts to react, but that's not where we're going to pass the ball. The number 1 pass in this break is to this big, cutting to the ball. It should be a long pass, and it should get to the hands of the receiver while they're still moving towards the ball. The way the passer times that pass is the moment that they get a little bit of distance away from their defender. If their defender is right on top of them as they come down, you might never get them that pass, and that's okay. If we get to the foul line, that's a little bit too deep. So if you haven't gotten to the pass before you get to the foul line, this is no longer the pass we really want. And the reason for that is if we're going to get the ball down here in the corner, we might as well have just given it to one of our guards. Okay, so we're faking our jab steps. We're making our pass to the 5. After the 1 took their little jab step, on the flight of the ball, they start running. And what we're looking for here is by the time it gets to the hands of this player, we are already even with or past them going down the floor. What usually happens is that person's defender is about a step behind them trying to chase them, so you're going to throw them a leading pass, just like we practice in our transition offense, so that they can catch it in stride and go. Once that happens, we're off to the races. Now, if this catch actually happens, the 4 should be making a line for the basket. This is a layup, and that's what we want to get every time we get a press break if we can. So now we're just on the attack. Okay, we're going to reset it and look at the next option. We make our jabs and cuts. Pass goes to the 5. But let's say this defender actually shuts this off. Maybe it's the second or third time we ran the press break. They're starting to figure it out. If the pass doesn't go here, the 2 makes a cut to follow their path. It shows up as a straight line here, but what it really is a cut straight to the ball. When the ball gets into their hands, they're just dribbling down the floor. So with their defender over here, we're starting to move as soon as the 5 catches the ball. If this pass doesn't happen, you go right to the 5 and then cut. This should not be a long pass. Remember, there's other defenders on the floor here, and they're going to be looking to take those passes away. Pass it to the 2. 2 should be looking to pass down the floor. Okay, let's reset it again. We start, we go make our cuts, get the ball there. Now we find our first and our second options for passes are taken away. What do? We've got the inbounder coming in, flashing to the middle, getting free of their defender. If that happens, anytime we don't get the ball to one of our first 2 options, the 4 needs to come back so that when we get this pass, this player can turn and go opposite and we can still get the ball over half court without a problem. Okay, one more time now. We go to inbound the ball, and now let's say this pass gets taken away by that defender. If that happens, the 1 should step to the lane, the 2 should come off of that, and we hit either one of those players coming out of that traffic. As soon as the ball is inbounded, we should be running the floor, looking to make the next pass. Good press breaks happen off of passes, not dribbles. 2 last things to talk about. When the 5 makes their cut, we're going to pump fake it there. If that's not there, we're going to look for one of these. If neither of them are there, the ball handler would run the floor to the opposite side of the key, and the 4 would sprint down to the ball to catch this pass. This is actually not very uncommon. What happens when the 4 catches the pass here, the 2 runs the same route that the 1 was running before. So they're going to time their run while the ball is in the air. They're going to start moving, so that by the time this person catches the ball, they're already even with them or past them, clear of their defender, so that the next pass has them open going down the floor. When we go to the other side, on the flight of the ball, the 5 should start moving so that they're open deep to get a pass. So if you were counting, that was 5 options for how we initiate the press break. If you need to, go back and watch the video again so that you know all 5 options and you know what your role would be in each one of them. One last thing I want to mention, and this just happened in a recent game. We got the ball here, This pass was taken away. This pass was taken away. This pass was taken away, but no one was guarding this player, and they got so locked into running our pass sets that they hesitated for a while, and then they tried to throw the ball back into the middle where it was covered. If these guys are covered, we never, under our own basket, want to make that pass. Everybody on our team can handle the ball. If you're open and nobody's covering you, you're welcome to dribble it out yourself, but if somebody's open going down floor, they should always get the ball. When we drill this in practice, in order for everyone to learn all these roles, we got to get a lot of reps. So what we're going to do is we're going to rep it and make our passes until we get to half court, and we're going to stop. We're going to reset the drill on the other end of the court. We're going to run it again with a different pass option with players in different roles until we've gone through it 15 or 20 times. Everybody knows exactly what to do.